Hello everyone, FedEx Gaming here, and welcome back to another Redstone tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing you how to build a Cauldron combination lock. So right here is my secret door, which isn't very secret because I have a border around it. But all we have to do is make sure we have the certain amount of water in each cauldron to open up our door. Now this goes from 0, 1, 2, and 3 with your buckets of water inside your cauldron. Now I have mine set up in that exact order just to show you. So right now this one has to be set to 0. This one has to be set to 1, so 2, 1. This one has to be set to 2, and that one has to be set to 3. And as you can see, my door opens up. However, if I even take 1 out of 3, the door closes. If I even take 1 out of 2, the door will close. So it has to be set on the exact number, no matter what, for your door to open up. So right back here is what everything looks like. Now I know this looks really weird, but I set this up in an exact way so you could put them right next to each other in any order that you like. So if you wanted to, you could set it up as 4, 2, 3, 2, 4, 1, 2. You could set it up however you like. Now over here, I split up 0 through 3 just so you can get a better understanding of how all this is working. So right here is 0, so there has to be nothing in this cauldron for it to work. So that redstone torch has to be off. However, if I add water to it, as you can see, that redstone torch comes on. We don't want that to be on. So if I even take 1 away to 2, it still stays on. If I take another one to 1, it still stays on. And if I go all the way to 0, it finally turns off. Now over here is number 1, same thing, same concept with over there. We have to have it at number 1 or else it will not work. So if I put water in there, as you can see, the redstone comes on. We don't want that. We want that redstone to be off. If I put it to 2, the redstone is still on. If I put it to 1, it finally goes off. However, I even put it to 0, the redstone comes on. So it has to be at 1 or else it will not work. Now number 2 is definitely the hardest one to build, but it's the same as 0 and 1. If I take 1 away and put it to 1, as you can see, that redstone torch comes on. We don't want that. If I put it to 0, it still stays on. If I put it to 3, it still stays on. But if I put it to 2, it finally goes off. Now, like I said at the beginning, the main reason why I set them up like this is just so you could put them next to each other in any order that you like. You could put it in any order that you want. There is one downside, and I'll get to that at the end, but the same thing goes with number 3. If you take 1 away, the redstone torch comes on. We don't want that. It stays on. It stays on. However, once we put it to 3, it goes off. Now, there's one downside to this build, and you cannot put 2 1s next to each other. No matter what, you cannot put 2 1s next to each other because this redstone needs to be going into that torch. However, if you even change it up like this, if I put 1 block here and put a piece of redstone next to it like this, boom, that redstone torch comes on, and as you can see, it activates the redstone, and you can't have that. So that's the only downside to this build. You cannot have 2 1s next to each other. So I'm going to start off on the tutorial. This is going to be the combination I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing 2, 3, 1, 0. You can see all the redstone right here, so you should have an understanding of how everything works. But the main reason why I want to show you how to build it anyway is because in case you put a 3, a 2, or a 1 next to each other, as you can see, the redstone can come into contact with each other, but it's very easy to split them up, and that's the reason why I set this up. All right, guys, so the resources you're going to need for this exact combination right here are going to be 4 cauldrons, 4 redstone comparators, 10 redstone repeaters, 7 redstone torches, 12 redstone, and of course, you're going to need 4 buckets of water and as many glass bottles as possible to open up this thing. All right, guys, so starting things off with number 2, this is definitely going to be the hardest one to build out of all of them. You're going to place down a cauldron, place a block of choice behind it. I'm going to be using quartz, and then place a comparator coming out of that block. Now, the reason why number 2 is the hardest, I feel, is just because we're going to have to dig down a little bit. So I like to just dig down 3 and bring it out just a tiny bit, and we're going to just keep digging out until we finally reach the end. I feel like doing this together will make this build a lot easier to do instead of me just putting out a whole little layout. So starting things off with number 2, and we're going to place a block right in front of our comparator right here, break it, and then place a block right underneath it with a piece of redstone right there. Next up, we're going to come down another block and place another piece of redstone, and then we're going to come down another block yet again. That's why I dug down 3, and we're going to place a repeater coming out of that block of redstone. Next up, we're going to place a block in front of our repeater, a repeater coming out of that block, place a block up in front of it with a redstone torch on top of it, block on top of the redstone torch, torch on top of the block, and block on top of the redstone torch with yet again another redstone torch on top of it. So there's going to be 3 torches going up in a nice ladder. Next up, we're going to come out right here on top of this redstone like this, and then just bring it all the way down, come out another piece of redstone right here, and place 2 repeaters going that way, and that's going to be number 2 completely done. So now if we take out our water, let me go ahead and take out my water. We're going to set this to 2. So right now if we put 3 in there, as you can see, the redstone torch is still on, but once we set it to 2 with a glass bottle, boop, as you can see, the redstone torch will go off. Now, next up, we're going to be doing number 3. This one's a lot easier to build. All we're going to do is place down a cauldron, place a block coming out from the cauldron, place a comparator coming out of the block, and then we're going to place a block up in front of it like that. And then we're going to come out 4 blocks from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to place 3 pieces of redstone. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to place a repeater going this way on 1 tick to light. a block in front of it, and then a redstone torch on top of the block, and then a block on top of the redstone torch like this. Oh yeah, we also have to have a block on top of this redstone torch as well. I almost forgot. So we're gonna come right here and just place a block like that. So as you can see right now, they're connecting together. This is the reason why I wanted to even show this, is because we don't want them connecting together. Now to easily disconnect them is just place a block right above it right here, and now they're disconnected. So just make sure they do not connect together like that, and you should be absolutely fine. Now all we have to do is just set this one to 3. So all we have to do is just fill it up once with our water bucket, and it should turn off that redstone torch over there, thus deactivating everything. Next up, we're going to be doing number 1, which is just a tad harder than the other ones. Again, we're going to place down a cauldron. We're going to place a block behind our cauldron. This is our block choice. This is going to be your walling. Then we're going to place a comparator coming out of it, a block up in front of the comparator, a piece of redstone on top of it. Place a block on top of your comparator with a redstone torch on top of it like that. Then we're going to come out 2 more blocks from here. 1, 2. Place a piece of redstone. Now we don't want these two connecting. That's why I put these all next to each other, just so you could see it in action. We don't want those two connecting. So all you have to do is just literally place a block right above it and disconnect the two. Then we're going to place a repeater coming out of this redstone. Place a block up in front of your repeater. Then we're going to go ahead and place a block right above your repeater and your redstone like this. And then place a block right above this torch. And then just connect everything together. Like that. And now we don't want that redstone to be on. So what we're going to do is place in our water bucket. And then we're going to have to bring it down to 1. So there's 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, the redstone went off. And then last but not least, which is 0, which is yet again another very, very easy one to build. We're just going to place down a cauldron. Place a block behind your cauldron. Place a comparator coming out of the block. Place a block in front of your comparator, and then come out 4 repeaters. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place a block up in front of it. Place a redstone torch on top of it. Place a block on top of your redstone torch. And then yet again, another redstone torch on top of the block. And that is everything together, guys. Now all we have to do is just hook all of it together so we can hook up it to a door. So I'm going to go ahead and take out some, I guess, redstone clay. I'm going to bring our blocks out right from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And we're just going to hook these all together like this. And as you can see right now, it's off. That means our door will be opened up. So I'm going to go ahead and just quickly build a Jeb door for you guys as well. So remember, this is our wall. This is your wall right here. So we're going to quickly just build a Jeb door. If you don't have pistons, then I'm pretty sure PE still doesn't have pistons. But we're going to go ahead and just come out 1 block from our comparator. So 1, and then we're going to place in 4 sticky pistons and 2 facing forwards. Skip 2 blocks, 2 facing forwards like that. Then we're going to place 4 facing inwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Place our blocks of choice in front of them. 1, 2, 1, 2. Place our blocks of choice above it as well. 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Then 4 blocks on top of our... Hopefully you guys know how to build a Jeb door. I'm hoping by now, if you've been watching my channel for a very, very long time, everyone should know how to build a Jeb door by now. Now what I'm going to do is just going to set up power going to my Jeb door. So I'm going to come back here, place a redstone torch here, and 2 pieces of redstone, and the door should close up. There's the door closed. And then I'm going to come over here. Now what we have to do is just bring the power going down to this repeater. So what I like to do is just bring this going down right there, and come up a block right here. Place a redstone torch off the side of it. Place redstone going into that block. And then we're going to place a block right here with a repeater going into this block. Let me go ahead and use a block of choice here. I'm going to use a block of choice and then use a repeater right here. And as you can see, the doors opened up because our combination is set up. And then, of course, we can go and clean up everything. But there you guys have it. That is how you build a cauldron combination lock. And like I said, you can put as many next to each other as you want. You can put these next to each other as much as you want. The only thing you cannot do is put a 1 next to each other. You cannot put 2 1s next to each other, or it will not work. And also keep it in mind, if you have them right next to each other, you have to pan out in your mind how much redstone you're using. Because remember, you can only have up to 15 redstone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it made it absolutely fine. You can only go up to 15. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If I send power right down over to here, let me go ahead and take out a redstone lamp just so you could see it in action. So let me take a redstone lamp out. And as you can see, boom, the redstone lamp will come on. However, if I come out even 1 more piece of redstone, the redstone lamp will not come on because it can't reach that far. It cannot reach that far. So just keep that in mind while you're building this thing. Make sure you don't go too far over with 15. Just make sure it always reaches the end. And of course, if you want to, you can always put a repeater coming right out the end as well, and that would give us an extra 2 blocks to work with. But there you guys have it. That is literally everything. That's how you build the entire thing. So of course, if I was to add water to 0 right here, as you can see, the door will close because we cannot have any water inside of it. If I add any water to number 1, it will of course close the door. Even at 2, it will close the door, and once we get to 1, it should reopen the door. If I take anything out of 3, the door should close, and I don't know why that didn't close. I did not add redstone to it. Make sure you add redstone right here above the torch. There we go. So if I I take anything out of 3, I can't believe I messed up there. If I take anything out of 3, the door closes. If it goes to 1, it will stay closed. If I take everything out of it, it will stay closed. However, once I add it back in, the door will reopen up. And then, of course, once and for all, if I take anything out of 2, it will close. Take it out again, it will stay closed. If I add it, it will close. And then if I take it down to 2, the door should reopen up. And there you guys have it. That's how you build a Cauldron combination lock. I have no idea why I'm wearing pants and boots, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Stay tuned with my newest videos. All right, guys, peace.